Picture Qatar, a quiet peninsula of endless desert and shimmering heat, where the land stretches out in golden waves beneath a vast, cloudless sky. Picture the relentless sun beating down on rolling sand dunes, the horizon blurring and dancing in the distance, as if the earth itself is melting into the sky. Imagine the profound silence, broken only by the whisper of the wind and the gentle shifting of ancient sands, an environment both beautiful and unforgiving. For centuries, life here was a test of endurance. Nomadic Bedouins roamed the desert, while coastal villagers built their lives by the sea, surviving on what little the land and water could provide. Their world revolved around the tides, the changing seasons, and the search for pearls, precious treasures hidden beneath the waves, long before oil or gas were ever discovered. Brave divers, often with nothing but a nose clip and a basket, risked their lives in the deep, dark waters for pearls. These pearls became the backbone of Qatar's early economy, linking this small peninsula to distant markets and ancient trade routes. But this way of life was always fragile. A single bad season, a storm, or a poor harvest could mean hunger and hardship for entire families, leaving communities vulnerable and uncertain. Yet, through it all, the community's songs and stories echoed across the desert and the sea. Tales of struggle, resilience, and hope, passed down from one generation to the next. Then, in the early 1900s, a wave of change swept across the world. Japan began producing cultured pearls, cheaper, more abundant, and quickly favored by global markets. The global market for natural pearls crashed almost overnight. Qatar's once thriving pearl industry collapsed, leaving behind empty baskets and abandoned boats. The bustling villages that once echoed with laughter and song fell silent. The peninsula, once connected to the world by pearls, now faced an uncertain and daunting future. It seemed as though Qatar's story was coming to a quiet close. But history, as it often does, had other plans, setting the stage for a transformation no one could have imagined. The collapse of the pearl trade plunged Qatar into a period of deep poverty and uncertainty. Once the lifeblood of the nation, the pearling industry had sustained generations. But now, its sudden end left entire communities without hope or direction. The 1930s and 40s were especially bleak. Idle dhows, once bustling with activity, lined the harbors, their sails furled and crews unemployed. Markets grew quiet, and families struggled to survive, relying on meager resources and the strength of their traditions to get by. Just as hope seemed to fade completely, a new possibility emerged. In 1939, geologists struck oil at Dukhan, igniting a spark of optimism for the future. World War II delayed development, but by 1949, Qatar exported its first crude oil. This marked the beginning of a new era, as the country slowly started to transform. Oil revenue gradually changed the landscape. Schools, hospitals, and roads began to appear where there had been little before, bringing new opportunities and hope to the people. For the first time in its history, the state could provide for its people, offering education, healthcare, and a brighter future for the next generation. This was a radical shift from the old days of pearling. The nation's identity and economy were being reshaped, as oil workers replaced pearl divers and new skills were needed. But oil brought new challenges too. Qatar was still a British protectorate, navigating a complex and often difficult political landscape, balancing tradition with the pressures of modernization. Early leaders faced the daunting task of managing newfound wealth and laying the groundwork for independence, which would finally come in 1971. Their vision and determination set the stage for the nation's transformation. Oil was just the beginning. The next chapter in Qatar's story would be even bigger, as the country continued to evolve and reach for new heights on the world stage. In 1971, the year Qatar gained its independence, the nation stood at a crossroads, filled with hope and ambition for the future. The people celebrated their newfound freedom, dreaming of prosperity and a brighter tomorrow. That same year, Qatar made a discovery that would change its destiny forever: the North Field, a vast offshore natural gas reserve hidden beneath the waters of the Persian Gulf. This was not just any gas field, it was the world's largest natural gas reserve, a treasure trove of energy waiting to be unlocked. For years, this immense resource remained largely untapped, its potential unrealized. But in the 1990s, Qatar made a bold decision to invest heavily in liquefied natural gas, or LNG technology, transforming risk into opportunity. It was a daring gamble, but one that paid off spectacularly. Qatar soon emerged as the world's leading exporter of LNG, reshaping global energy markets. Massive ships, loaded with liquefied gas, departed from Ras Laffan, carrying Qatar's energy to distant shores and bringing unprecedented wealth and opportunity back home. To wisely manage this newfound prosperity, the government established the Qatar Investment Authority, channeling wealth into investments around the globe. and securing the nation's future for generations to come. The North Field became the driving force behind Qatar's transformation, a powerful engine that propelled the country from desert obscurity to a position of global prominence and influence. With new wealth, Qatar set out to build more than just skyscrapers. In 1996, Al Jazeera launched, giving the Arab world a global media voice. Doha transformed into a futuristic city, with Lusail as a model of sustainable urban planning. Qatar invested in public transport, green spaces, and iconic architecture. Hosting the 2022 FIFA World Cup put Qatar on the world stage, showcasing its culture and ambition. The nation also became a diplomatic hub, mediating conflicts and hosting global events. Qatar's strategy was clear: use energy wealth to build influence, foster stability, and create a lasting legacy. Qatar knows oil and gas won't last forever. That's why it launched Qatar National Vision 2030, to build a knowledge-based, diversified economy. Education City brings top universities to Doha, nurturing the next generation of innovators. The government encourages entrepreneurship and invests in new industries: technology, tourism, finance. By reducing reliance on hydrocarbons, Qatar aims for a resilient, sustainable future. From pearl divers to global leaders, Qatar's story is one of vision, ambition, and relentless adaptation. The nation continues to turn challenges into opportunities, building a bright future on a foundation of resilience.